So yeah, let's talk about the decider poker. Where does it come from? Yeah, we all have been in a situation before where you have a group of people, you have a team, you have a project, and you have a group of 10, 15 people that have to decide who will take a decision or who will be part of a task force or who will take over some activities. And usually what's happening is that, like everybody stands here and don't say anything, and the first one to talk basically will be in charge. So we needed a way to facilitate a very quick and also situative way of taking this decision, to decide who's going to decide. How does that work is a very simple method. You don't need any cards. You don't need any material. You only need like your hands or the chart or a whiteboard, but it's very, very easy. Let's say you need to decide about who is going to, select a gift for a colleague that is becoming a father, or who wants to decide the color of the walls for a brand new room, or you need to select, like some new software or some new provider for whatever you're doing. And you need someone to be in charge of like, taking the decision, driving this mini project. So you bring everybody together that is somehow, part of it, and you make them vote. Exactly like a delegation poker, you do very quickly a vote. There is 5 levels. The first level is I know best and I want to decide alone. So it's very like exclusive. It's really like, guys, I know the best architecture. I've worked a lot with this technology. I want to decide alone. Second is I want to decide with you. So yeah, I have some knowledge, I have some background, like maybe some people have been a long time in the project, they want to be part of the decision process. 3, it's a very good step for maybe, like leaders or managers that are doing the transition maybe to agile. They want, to empower their people, but they are not ready to let go. 3 is I let you decide. You guys, can decide, but I want a veto right. Can be, like simply a safety net. I want a veto right, but, I actually never want to do the veto. Or it could be something a bit more relevant. It could be someone from procurement or from finance that want to have a say on the cost. Like, okay, decide which furniture you want in your office, but I want to have, the bill and decide, okay, is it above or below like a certain limit. So that's the veto part, the step 3. 4 is take the decision, inform me, and when you inform me, let's discuss about how to do things. Maybe I have input, maybe I have feedback, maybe I'm the one actually doing the orders of this furniture, so we can look together at the catalog, and maybe so, okay, it will be blue but another shade of blue because it's cheaper. So like I don't want to take the decision of the color, but I can help you to make it easier. So that's step 4. And step 5 is really like letting go. You don't want to be part of it, and you're happy with the result. It's also really a clear intent to say, I trust you guys. I will not complain in the future about your decision because I decided to let go. And the way it works is that, you gather the people. Let's say you have a team of 10, 12, 15 people, and you have to decide who is taking care of this topic, of the architecture workshop, of calling a customer to maybe say bad news. And then you vote very quickly, exactly like in delegation poker or in planning poker, you do very quickly around. And then you work with the result. The first step is you take the people that voted 4 or 5, you write them down, you documentate, but basically you put them aside. Like they are not involved in the process. And what we found is that most of the case, it concerns half of the people, maybe sometimes more. So you go very, very quickly from 12, 15 people down to 5 or 7 people. So you really reduce the complexity by a factor that is incredible, because obviously the communication, everybody's having opinion. So if you have the people, the number of participants, you already like have a big gain. Then you discuss with the people that are in 1 and 2. Like if you have several people in one, okay, you have a problem. But you can decide, it's transparent, you can work on that as a moderator, as a facilitator, but at the end of the day, it's transparent and you can work on it. If there is, any objection to one person deciding a line, then they will have to step back and go to level two. So it's or you will, create a conflict, but at the end of the day, it's a conflict that you need to have, in this case. So it's very useful because you can very quickly create the right discussions. Then the people that are in two, okay, this is part of your management group. But as I said, you reduce already from 10, 15 to 5, so it's becoming manageable. And for the people in three, you try to understand what's going on. Is it someone that don't want to decide because of, being cynic or being like, I don't know, don't really want to be involved personally, but actually want to be part of the decision, so want basically to have the influence, then you try to step them up to 2. If there is someone that would like to trust but cannot really, never tried, is unsure, then you will try to step them down to 4, so to say. So this is then the step where you want maybe to experiment and talk a lot. As I said, you don't need materials, you don't need cards. We're not selling anything. You can do it with your hands. When your team is on a room, it goes very quickly in 2-3 minutes. You explain the rule. We have a poster on the website, and then you can take decision. You can decide who is deciding. And if you are not, if you're not on the same place, if you're remote, you can do it like with the camera. You show your finger. I think best is to write it in the chat because then you have a trace. Or if using, like Miro or Metro Retro, you basically do a board and you can have people like moving their token or post it like on the board to select their level. So yeah, try it out.